pleasure to speak to you. I mean, you're someone who I feel I've known all my life through your music.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think what did
Well,
it
you
for
have a
me?
hell of a collection behind you. Is that CDs or is that
I've got
CDs, right?
yeah, I've got some Cactus in there. I can't
Oh yeah,
lift the vinyl that high. But I think the
yeah,
thing that did it for me, like probably did for a lot of musicians, was seeing you. I think it was on the old Ed Sullivan rerun
yeah, yeah.
of
Oh,
I
the
think you played.
rerun. Oh, yeah, okay, the
Yeah,
rerun. Yeah, the
keep me
rerun is pretty amazing.
keep me hanging on. Just
I look at
watching.
that rerun and I go, "Oh my God, is that me?" It's like an animal. If I would look at that now, a new young drummer, I go, "Oh, who is that guy? He's a freaking animal."
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. That's
and I
exactly
don't play
what
like that anymore. I was 20.
I.
I was 22 there. I'm 74 now.
Yeah.
75. I mean, I still play with a lot of energy and twirling stuff, but that was ridiculous. You
It
know,
was. It was. I mean, it was the
but,
first time I'd seen anyone twirl their sticks as a drummer, and you
yeah.
sort of like really took the attention on that show.
Because a lot of
What?
drummers that twirled, you had to stop playing when you twirled. The twirl I developed, I kept playing
Yeah,
while I twirled, and
yeah.
it became part of my thing. Even the way I hold a stick, instead of holding it like this, I had to hold it like this. See,
Ah, okay. Yeah,
in order to do the twirl and
yeah.
keep playing at the same time.
Yeah, an amazing career you've had so far, and I love
Yeah.
the. I mean, I'm a big Motown fan anyway, but I love what you've done with "Stop
All
in the
right.
Name of Love,"
Yeah.
dedicated
Great.
to Tim. I mean, you two
Yes.
guys had a wonderful career together, didn't you? Really, through
Unbelievable. Yeah. It could have
yeah,
went further, but Tim screwed it up, I have to
yeah,
say. In
yeah.
'74, he wanted to get rid of our manager, and we had a BBA live at the London Rainbow deal, and
Mm,
we had a new Vanilla Fudge two album deal with Epic. And Tim wanted to get rid of our manager and lawyer. I said, why, man? They just got us these great deals.
yeah,
He thought they were ripping us off. They did get a lot of percentage, but still, we had great deals.
yeah.
And then he said, well, I'm not going to do it if they're with us. So he didn't do it, so we didn't do the deals.
Oh
And
wow. Yeah,
now he fast forward to now, that BBA live in Japan, live at the London Rainbow, we're going to release it, and he signed a new deal, which is nowhere near the money of the old deal. He
oh
signed it
no.
before he died, so his wife could
Yeah,
have some income, you know.
yeah. So where did you two meet?
Well, I was playing at a club in New Jersey with my old band, a group called Thursday's Children. Had a singer named Dean Parrish, who
Yeah.
went on and did something in England, like in the Northern Soul kind of
Oh, okay.
music, you know.
Yeah.
And they came in. Mark and Timmy came in and said, "Look, we have a new band. We have a band. It's called the Pigeons, and we're looking to do this new kind of music, which is rearrangement, slowed down, and emotional music. But we need somebody that can sing. We need a technical drummer that could emulate like stuff that we need to do. And we've been watching you all night. You seem like the guy that can do that.
Yeah.
Would you be interested?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm making a few $100 a week, and I love this band. I had a band that had horns and everything.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, where are you doing this?" They said, "Well, we're doing it out in Long Island." I lived in Brooklyn at the time, which is Long Island's about 45 minutes out where they were. I said, "You know what? I'll come out and check it out." So I went out. The manager owned the club, a big club, and they were going to put us on a salary of like $100 a week, whether we worked or not.
Wow.
$100 a week back then was
Yeah.
probably like $1,000 now. You know, so I went out and I played with them, and I never played with a bass player before. All my bands had left-hand bass on the keyboard, like a
Ah.
Farfisa organ
Like
or a
the
B3 organ.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so when we played, I don't know, we played Midnight Hour or something, and I heard Tim play. I said, "Oh my God!" Then I heard Mark Stein sing. I said, "Oh my God, this guy's unbelievable." And then Vinny sang. They both sang harmony, and Vinny was a good guitar player, and I fit in like a glove.
Yeah. And
I
you've
said,
not got a bad voice as well yourself. I mean,
yeah,
people
yeah, and
get
I was
ready, I think.
singing. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was singing too, and we all had the same vibrato.
Yeah.
So I said, I used to sing doo-wop and all that stuff. Mark Stein used to sing doo-wop. Timmy and Vinny learned how to sing like Mark from Mark. So me and Mark really hit it off because we both did doo-wop. And, and I could play R&B, I could play anything. I could play jazz, whatever you want. So I said, wow, you guys are amazing. I said, I think I might want to do this. So I did it. And we started playing gigs and we started arranging songs. And the different thing we did, the first band that was big doing that in Long Island was Leslie West Band, the Vagrants.
Oh, wow.
They used to draw 2,000 people in my manager's club.
Yeah.
We started doing songs, so we picked more R&B songs, and we did, One More Heartache, Little Anthony, Imperials, I'm Going Out of My Head. And we did Growing by the Temptations, and we did Ain't Too Proud to Beg. And we started doing Hanging On, and we slowed Hanging On down because then we started realizing that what we could do is match the music to the vocal emotionally to the lyrics. If you look at You Keep Hanging On, it says, set me free, why don't you, babe? It's like that. But when you listen to the lyrics, if you've ever been in that position where you're in a love triangle and you're hurting. We used to call it hurting lyrics. So you match the music to the hurting lyrics with emotional vocals, you keep hanging on.
Yeah, and Fudge did that wonderfully well. I mean, you made those songs epic.
Right. And then we went in and did a demo of that record.
Yeah.
We played it one time as we were doing it live. And we noticed when we did it live, any other song we did, Ain't Too Proud to Beg or Midnight Hour, people would start dancing a little bit. Even though not a lot, because we used to make arrangements out of it. But when the song actually started, they would dance. But whenever we did You Keep Me Hanging On, starting off with the around there, and they said, wow, what the hell is that? And they'd all walk up to the front of the stage. If there was 50 people there, or 200 people, or 5,000 people, or whatever it was, they'd always walk up to the stage, and we said, wow. So when we did the demo of that song. We went in the studio, one take, mono, everything at once.
Wow.
Right? And that's what we released. It's in mono, it's not in stereo.
Yeah.
And that became the song. And I say the 7.5 minutes that changed my life.
Yeah, it's a fantastic.
That gave us the record deal. And then the record deal, then we just did other songs like that we did, like Eleanor Rigby. Yeah. What's Eleanor Rigby about? A church, a graveyard in a church, priests and religion and eerie stuff. So we made that song eerie sounding. People Get Ready. It was more like a gospel song. We did it like an organ and my vocal and gospel singers behind me. And then we built up to the end where it peaks and it modulates and the whole band and the chorus is in there with the gospel singing. And, and that became a big song too. And then every song we did, Take Me for a Little While, we changed that one. Then we did Bang Bang, Ticket to Ride, we slowed down. She's Not There, we slowed down,
Yeah, and they all work wonderfully well. People have got to hear them. I mean, going through your collection the other day, I was playing everything. It's just that second album that I get stuck on.
I just told another Australian woman I just did an interview. She said, if you would do anything over in your career, what would you do? I said, I wouldn't do that second Fudge album. Because, you look at the top 10 on the first album, there was Vanilla Fudge, The Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, The Doors, The Cream, Jimi Hendrix, and Jefferson Airplane were all like in the top 10. Yeah. They all got huge, right? On their second albums, they got huge. Our second album went that way. That way, down. And it killed us. We rushed in to do the third album, which Season of the Witch was on the third album, which was left over from the first album. That should have been on the second album. Mm-hmm. The only thing on the second album that was any good was Moonlight Sonata. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
We did the orchestral version, a rock version of that. That was pretty cool. And the vocals we used just for harmonies, But that's what I would have done over. That album killed us. Yeah, and then by the time we did the fourth album, we still weren't up to par where we should have been, where everybody else was.
Yeah, some wonderful music though to look back on, and then you went on to Cactus, which is another classic band that I think
Yeah,
is pretty underappreciated in a lot of
yeah.
parts of the world. But
Cactus influenced a lot of bands, just like the Fudge influenced a lot of bands. And the
yeah,
Fudge should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame years ago.
mm,
And now
mm.
they're too busy putting the Go-Go's in there.
Yeah, exactly. And
Ridiculous. I mean,
but there was an album, wasn't there? Cactus Tightrope came out this year.
yes, Tightrope,
Yeah,
great record.
yeah, it
But
is. It's
with COVID, it got lost.
yeah, it
You
did.
know?
Like so many. I was
Yeah.
talking to Paul Shortino the other day, and
Oh, did you? Yeah, we're
he
doing a new King Cobra.
he says hello. Yeah, music is
Yeah.
a piece of art. Hopefully, it's going to be cool.
Yes, that's it.
And
Yeah.
and
We already have the
he's
cover.
yes, exactly. And he said that he had about five or six songs at the time. So there's
Well,
about
now we
another.
have 11.
Oh wow, fantastic.
And now we were using Rowan Robinson
Mm.
and what's his name? From Great White, Randy Lochner. Is that his name?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But Randy's on the road with Great White all the time. He's not doing anything.
yeah.
So now I'm talking to Carlos Cavazzo from Quiet Riot,
Oh cool. Yeah,
and he's a great player, and he's very, he doesn't do a lot of things.
yeah,
So when he does something, it's pretty good, and people like him. So
yeah.
he said he would do it. So we're going to start working with him. Hopefully that'll work.
That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, I'd love the last one, but I mean, there's so much stuff you've been on. I mean, I don't even know what to ask you next. I mean, I loved obviously. I just got sent actually something in my Dropbox today for Energy Overload
Yes. Did you get the whole thing?
for the whole thing. So
Did you listen to any of it?
I listened to the Rod Stewart Carmine
Isn't that
Appice
funny?
song.
Isn't that cool? It's
Yeah,
cool. That dude is a great talent.
yeah,
He's like 42 years old. He plays bass, he plays guitar, and plays keyboard. So working with him, it's just me and him,
mm,
you know.
yeah.
And I
So
started working with him um, like a year ago when I first got my studio going, and I didn't really know how to work it. You
yeah,
know, my brother Vinny built a studio. He's a computer geek, so he built it in his house. Sent the whole thing to me: the computer, the input mics, things, the screen, and I put it up, and I didn't really know what to do. You know, Vinny showed me some stuff, and then when this Fernando came along, I said, "Wow, this is a good way to learn how to operate my studio." You
yeah,
know, so I took him on. I sent him some stuff on my iPad that I wrote,
yeah.
including "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" I wrote on my iPad that arrangement. You know, but
Fantastic.
before I did that, I gave him a new instrumental called Thunder. You know, that
Oh
was the
yeah.
first one we did.
Oh, I'm going to
And he
listen
sent
to
it
that
back to
next
me.
then.
He sent it back to me, and I said, "Whoa, this is great. The drums sound killer." And then
Mm,
he had a guy to mix it. It was cheap payment to mix it, and it was awesome. So I said, "Let's do some more." We kept doing this back and forth. And we talking. Then I said, "I'm going to send you a drum track. Let's see what you do to it." So I sent him a drum track, and he put this funky ass song together. That's great, you know. And then we
I'm
got
gonna,
Derek Sherinian to play on it from
yeah, I saw Derek was on a
Derek.
few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. He's awesome on it. Another song called Flower Child, which is going to be the next video. And you know, there's a video. Did you see the video?
I haven't seen the video yet. I only
It's
only
called.
literally
It's
just
from
got
the song.
the
Okay, it's
songs.
called "Rocket to the Sun." And I
Mm,
had given him a drum track. I said, "See what you can write to this." And he wrote this cool ass song, you know.
yeah.
And he sent it back to me. I said, "Well, that's cool. Why don't we try this over there?" You know, and we switched some things around. But it's and he's so easy to work with. He'll never say, "No, I don't think so." He never said that to me, never,
Yeah.
because he really respects me as an artist and in my career. And
Yeah.
and he's 42 years old. He's like, could be my son, and he's a go-getter. Like he just found this song called "Flower Child." We're going to do this video, and he found this young girl who's putting videos on YouTube. Has 100,000 people watch her, and the videos are one of them. She looks like a flower child. So
Yeah.
he contacted her, and he said, "We're going to do a video. We'd love to have you in it. It's with me and blah blah blah." And he's in that thing on Netflix. He is It's called Echoes in the Canyon.
Okay.
It's all about Laurel Canyon.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
played with, on the album, we played with Clapton, we played with Joni Mitchell and all these people from the canyon, you know?
Wow.
So that's been on Netflix. So he's got a big part in the movies. Like you see him all the time.
Wow.
You know?
I've got a book about Laurel Canyon that I've had for years, but I didn't know that there was a documentary on Netflix. I'll have
It's
to catch
documentary on
that.
Netflix. It's documentary
Yeah.
on Netflix called Echoes in the Canyon. And
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's kid did it.
Oh, really? Cool.
Jeff Dylan, I think his name is.
Yeah. You've put.
And Fiona Apple's in it, and he's playing with all these people, you
Wow.
know, and they love him. They love
Yeah.
his playing.
Yeah.
He
Well,
is great. So
it sounded
I
great.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been
listened to
telling
it.
radio people, are you a radio person on the radio or on the
We've
internet?
got a
or what?
radio show. We've got a radio show, a podcast, and a
So
website.
I tell all my radio friends that I gave this. I said, you know, when you're talking, doing bumpers, doing an ad or doing something, you need
Yeah.
music behind it. Use this stuff. It's killer stuff, you know.
It is. It's
Yeah.
fantastic from what I've heard so far. You've over the years you've played with some wonderful guitarists.
Oh,
I
unbelievable.
know everyone from obviously Jeff Beck, which you're probably most famous for playing with, but people like John Sykes and stuff like that. A
I've been blessed.
guitarist's easy to deal with.
Hey, what?
A guitarist's easy to deal with.
No. The only guitarist that's easy to deal with, I ever played with, is Pat Travis.
Yeah, that was
He's
great.
easy.
Yeah,
That was a great record. Yeah. Look, I try not to put out shit records. You know what I mean? I try and put
Yeah.
out records that have really good songs and good playing and good hooks and memorable stuff and great solos by the guitarist. I mean, look at my Guitar Zeus album. If you have you heard that? You must have heard that.
Yeah, all four of them, I think.
Yeah, I'm releasing a box set in November, the 25th anniversary, with some new songs. I got Tommy Thayer from Kiss, and I got Derek Sherinian playing solos.
Oh, wow.
The guitar player, and I got this kid from my group Kodiak, plays like Eddie Van Halen. He's playing on a new track, and I got, you know, Bumblefoot was a new track that never really got realized, and a bunch of other stuff. And it's going to have 4 LPs, 3 CDs. It's got a Carmine logo necklace made of sterling silver, you know, with a chain, with a Guitar Zeus pick, a new photo of me with my new look, you know, with a pair of drumsticks and looking cool, autographed, and a new, like a booklet with all new interviews by, you know, a journalist that did interviews with a lot of different guitar players.
Cool. It sounds like something to look out. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, here's the thing. You mean Jeff Beck, John Sykes. You were even on a Michael Schenker album.
Michael Schenker, Jakey Lee, Mike Bloomfield,
Ted Nugent,
Jim McCarty, Ted Nugent. Oh God, and all the guys on Guitar Zeus, Brian May, Slash. I'm gonna write a book. My next book. I'm waiting for this guy that wrote a Beatle book. He's just finishing a Led Zeppelin book. We're gonna write a book called Guitar Zeus, the book.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be a really cool story.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful career, and I know I can't fit in
myself. I pinch myself because
I know I can't fit in all the questions I've got for you.
We got about 5 more minutes.
Yeah, you were even lined up for the often touted but never happened Vinnie Vincent shows as well.
Oh my God. Vinnie Vincent was in my band, Carmine and the Rockers, before he was Vinnie Vincent. The Kiss guys, Paul and Gene, called me when they were thinking of using him. They go, "What do you think?" I said, "Dude, talented, great player, great songwriter, but trouble."
Yeah.
I said, "If you want trouble, then hire him." They hired him, and they got trouble.
They got trouble.
Yes. Right? He sued him and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, and then I haven't heard from Vinny in 25 years. I knew his wife. He had twins. You know, he was in my band, Carmine and the Rockers. You know, he played a bunch of gigs. And I even have a whole album's worth of stuff. When I talked to him, you know, when I was going to do those gigs, when I said, "Dude, we should release this album."
Yeah.
He said, "No, I don't want to release any albums. I don't want nothing." So I said, "Okay, fine." I knew if I released it, he'd probably sue me, you know. So I didn't, and then I got to know the promoter, He paid me and Tony Franklin, was going to be the
Yeah.
bass player, and my guy Jim Crean that plays with me and Vinny in my drum war show. He gave us all deposits, and then Vinny blew it all out. He gave Vinny a big deposit,
Yeah.
and he blew it
It's-
out, and Vinny screwed the promoter. I became friends with the promoter. The promoter also does gigs. He does speaking gigs. He books them. So like I'm doing a couple of speaking gigs on rock history.
Now that would be
Yeah.
something I'd definitely love to see. I
I've
mean,
been
I
doing
can't,
that. My girlfriend, who is a radio talk show host, she usually mediates my speaking gig,
yeah,
like we're doing now. You know,
yeah.
she'll ask me questions that'll bring out stories, and the audience loves it.
How did you meet Rod? Because I know you
Rod?
played obviously with Jeff Beck.
Oh, I knew
Did
Rod
you?
from Jeff Beck Group.
Yeah,
We had the same attorney. You know, Rod Stewart, Rod and Jeff, and Led Zeppelin, and the Rascals, and Jimi Hendrix, and Vanilla Fudge, and the Yardbirds, and
yeah.
Herman's Hermits. We all had the same attorney. You know, and through
Fantastic.
him, we met Jeff Beck, and Jeff played on the Vanilla Fudge Coca-Cola commercial because Vinny
I
got sick.
didn't know that.
And
Yeah.
then when we were recording our fourth album, Rod and Ronnie came to the recording studio, the record plant. And they sat in the corner like two innocent little boys. You know, I met with Rod a few weeks ago here in Palm Beach. And I said,
Yeah.
you remember when you guys came to the studio with the Fudge and you sat in the corner like two little kids? He goes, yeah. You know, because then, you know, Rod was paranoid on the stage in those days.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I knew him from those days. And then with Cactus, the third album of Cactus, we went on tour with Rod and Faces. We did like 60 shows with him.
That would have
So we
been
really got
crazy.
to know them a lot better. It
Yeah.
was crazy. We destroyed so many rooms and so many cars and so many women.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, in those days, I'm surprised we haven't been arrested, you know, with somebody coming in from 40 years ago saying, you know, you raped me or something, you know.
Yeah, it's a
But
different
it was
world.
great. So I got to know Rod then, and then, you know, I knew him through all those days, and he started getting on his own. And then I ran into my friend Sandy Gennaro, who's a drummer that I knew from New York, and in LA. He said, I just auditioned for Rod Stewart. I said, oh, good. Did you get it? He goes, no. He said, you should do it. You should audition for him. I said, who you talk? Who do you call? He gave me the number. It was the guy who was on the road with us that we wrecked all the hotels with and everything, created havoc with it. So I called him and I said, hey, Pete, it's Carmine. Rod's looking for a drummer. You don't call me? And he says, oh, man, you're always busy. I said, I'm not busy. I would love to play with Rod. So Rod was in England. He called Rod in England. The band was in his house and mansion in Beverly Hills. And he said, Rod said, go over and see if you like the band. I went over. I played with the band. 2 days later, Rod came. We all played together. And he said, you got the gig if you want it. You know, just play like you did in Cactus. You know, you got a drum solo, but we got to straighten your name out. You know, you got too many names here. What do most people call you? I said, Carmine Appice. So that's it. We'll call you Carmine Appice. And Ludwig did an ad. Everyone wants a piece of Appice in all the major magazines around the world. And I was Carmine Appice every night. Carmine Appice on drums and my solo. Rod would go, when I started my solo, he'd go backstage underneath the stage and dress up again. He'd dry his hair, come out in a whole different outfit, you know, and he used my drum solo to rest and do that, you know.
That must have been
That when
great.
he come back, I would have the audience, you know,
Yeah,
rocking.
you would. I bet. I've seen some of the live stuff. It looks.
That's
looks
how I met him.
fantastic.
I was with him 7 years. He wrote the introduction to my book.
Mm.
You know, I don't know if you read my book, but my book had his intro, and in the intro he said, "I fired Carmine. Fuck knows why." And we're friends. You know, we're friends still. You know.
Yeah.
I went to his 70th birthday party. I'm having a 75th down here. He comes down here in December. I'm going to invite him and see if he comes. You know.
Fantastic. I mean, it's a wonderful career. Still going is the best thing I think about you.
I'm having a good time.
Looking forward for the King Cobra, definitely. I just wanted to leave you with one question that we ask everyone the first time we speak to them. It's really easy. What is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life. Monty Python.
You're with me on that one. That's cool. Yeah.
Most people don't even know that.
No, I agree.
Playing with all the English guys, I know that. But
that's fantastic.
For me, the meaning of life is, you know, having a good family, having fun, enjoying yourself, and staying healthy, eating good, you know, and just having a good time with what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun what you're doing, do something else.
Yeah.
Because
Is there
life is
any,
short.
it is, it is. Is there anything on the bucket list that you still haven't done that you wish you could have done?
I mean, I would have liked to play with Jeff Beck. I played with Jeff Beck on Blow by Blow, and it didn't work out, you know.
Yeah,
And I turned him on to that kind of music, and he exploded doing that. And
yeah,
that kind of, you know, was always left me a little like behind, that I should have been there, you know.
yeah,
But that's about it. But everything else, you know, I played with Joe Bonamassa. We almost had a band with him. I played with
yeah,
all these great guitar players. My Guitar Zeus record, you know, it was just a goof when I thought about it, you know. And then it became a reality. I couldn't believe it, and it did well
yeah.
all around the world.
Oh,
You know?
I love the drum wars. I spoke to Vinny last time. I think you were doing the drum wars with
Oh,
him,
Drum
which was
Wars with Vinny is
wonderful.
awesome. You know,
Yeah,
all these were my ideas that came out of my crazy head.
yeah,
And, you know, I don't know why or the way I think, but I always think with these things that nobody else really thinks of, you
yeah,
know, like I do a drum solo now. I do it one stick. I hit the drum, do two bass drums. I lift the stick up, grab it with the other one. So it's one stick. Eventually it goes like, it looks like I'm dribbling. You know, my brother Vinny said, "Well, where did you get that?" I said, "I don't know. I just thought about it." You know,
yeah. Well,
just
thank
crazy
you.
stuff I think of. But thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Oh,
You've been a
thank you
great
so much for
host.
your time. I've really enjoyed it. You are my favorite drummer of
Oh,
all
well, thank you
time,
so much, man. And
and I know
thinking about those bumpers. And I'll be with you every day.
definitely. Take care,
Cool,
man.
man. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.